So I'm showing you the map again so you can see right where I'm at. So I just completed all this stuff here, and I just did the children's zoo. So now I'm gonna check out the alligator habitat, then head on this trail here past the mountain goats and towards the elk woods and see all this stuff over here. And once I'm done with all this, I'm gonna head on the train ride afterwards. And so I'm gonna head to the wilderness trail where I got American alligator. Alright, I love the alligator's habitat. And the alligators all the way over there. And alligators looks like his water area is being filled up. That's why he's on land, because he's waiting for his water area to be filled up completely. Yeah, so there's two alligators here. Got a smaller one and the bigger one up close. It's a pretty big gator. I actually have seen alligators back in my home state of Texas, but usually at the place called Brazos Bend State Park. There's lots of alligators there. There's mostly a lot of alligators in Florida. Now, I do not live in Florida, but I have heard there's lots of alligators in the state of Florida. I heard there's been cases of alligators in people's swimming pool. So if you're on the state of Florida and you live by a body of fresh water, that's most likely where an alligator's gonna be. Alright, we got the wilderness trail. Alright, we got a mountain goat. Alright, so wonderful habitat. Yeah, do you see the mountain goats? Looks like there's a younger one. Yeah, closer look at the baby mountain goats. That one's standing up. We got another view of this mountain goat laying down here. There's another view of the mountain goat here. I'm gonna head to the African penguin exhibit. Alright, I'm gonna head to the African penguins building. And penguin molting. We got African penguins. This is their indoor habitat. Looks like most of the penguins are inside today. Yes, these are the warmer weathered penguins. And luckily they have lots of water for them to be in their indoor habitat. Yes, it's the animal's choice if they want to be outside or inside. It looks like they chose to be inside today where it's cooler. You have a very nice indoor habitat for them. Alright, so over here is the outdoor habitat for the African penguins, and looks like they're all inside today. Yeah, so I may try to check back here later, maybe to see if they're outside. Here's I'm gonna head towards the left to the wild hoofstock. We got this wonderful habitat here. Not sure what's in here, but I'm guessing this is where they have their elk. Yeah, so over here I actually do see the elk. Actually in there. It's a female, it's actually in the little barn. There's another elk that's in the grass there. The grass is very, very tall, so it's kind of hard to see them. You got a wapiti or elk. Oh, that's a wonderful habitat. I don't think I've ever heard them call me wapiti before. Where we got American bison. Some information about the bison. And the history of the American bison. Yeah, this is all a very, very wonderful habitat. I gotta see if I can find the bison. I do see the bison. There's actually a young one. Really cute bison. And there's another bison that's all the way back there in the barn or shed, looks like. Don't really know what to call it. Here's another look at the elk habitat. And the bison do have lots of space for them. It's really, really nice. Over here is another side view of the elk habitat. And elks have lots of space for them. Yeah, pretty good sized habitat for them. And information about their habitat. Here we got a pronghorn. Wow, it's nice. I see the pronghorn. A closer look at the pronghorn over here. There's the one in the back. Yeah, the elk do have lots of space for them. Yeah, it's a wonderful habitat. Here we got a Przewalski's horse. I do see them. Oh, there's a young one there. That's a cute one. And there's a secondary habitat for the horses, and there's another one here. And there's the other horsey. Hi, horsey. It's a really nice horse. We believe I got to see this at some of the other zoos on this road trip. We got Bactrian camel, also known as a two-hump camel. I see the camels right there. It's a good-looking camel there. Really nice camel. Hi camel, how are you? Man, the Bactrian camel does have lots of space for him. Fantastic. Another side view of the camel. I actually see a second Bactrian camel in the little barn. Let's look at this camel. Hi, Mr. Camel. Or Mrs. Don't know if it's a boy or girl. Really nice camel. Alright, yeah, the elk have a really large habitat. Probably the largest elk habitat I've ever seen at a zoo. Here we got a doll sheep. Wow, this habitat's nice. I do see the sheepy. Another one up on the hill. Here we got a bighorn sheep. Oh, that's a really gorgeous animal. You can definitely tell that's the male because of his big horns. I see the two female sheep. There's a younger one in the back there. The bighorn sheep do have lots of space. I do see another one back there. Here we got a mule deer. I do see the deer. There's the female deer. Sorry about the fencing. Trying to get the focus on the deer. Trying to get to clear up on the female, but I can't zoom any closer on the female, but you can see she's right there. And there's the big male. He was just using the bathroom, so I waited till he was done because I didn't want to invade his privacy. Here we got a white-tailed deer. That's a wonderful habitat. White-tailed deer is all the way back there. The female because she does not have any antlers. And got a nice view of the two deer. You can see the female deer is now standing up. Oh, very nice. Over here is another side view of the mule deer's habitat. Nice. And the bighorn sheep do also have a really wonderful habitat. A nice big hill for them to go on. We got a Trans-Caspian Urial. Well, so Trans-Caspian Ural have a nice habitat. I'm gonna see if I can find them. I do see them. The big male, the big horns. Well, I honestly don't think I've ever seen this type of animal before. There's a worker in there. Yeah, this is definitely the first time seeing the Trans-Caspian Ural at a zoo before. There's a young one there. Yeah, I don't really remember seeing this type of animal at another zoo before. Either I have, I just don't remember. That one's really active. And guys, Sichuan Takin. Oh, Takin's up close. Hi, Takin. Wow, he's really soft. Looks like he shut it off his winter coat since it is the summertime. And there's a second Takin here. It just made a little grunting noise. Looks like he's scratching up against the tree. He's got an itch. Scratching. Again, I do love the Takin's habitat. They have lots of space. No one down there. They're very wonderful animals. He's walking towards. He's coming on over. With these really nice looking horns. Yeah, it's wonderful. And this is the rest of the Takin habitat. I absolutely love their habitat. And over here is actually another view of the white-tailed deer's habitat. And there's a second one that's laying by the fence over there. Yeah, so the other thing I really like about the zoo, they have a really good amount of space for their animals. Especially their elk, as their elk are the animal at the zoo that probably have the most space. And guys, Siberian musk deer. And there's the musk deer. So he's having a little snack here. I do love their habitat. There was a second one, but he walked all the way towards the back. Yeah, this is all another side view of the Siberian musk deer habitat. It's really nice. There's another view of the white-tailed deer. And there's one right there. And another one over there. I'm back at the mountain goat to see one of them that are standing up now. Looks like the workers are putting some sprinklers in there for them. It's just very nice how they set up some sprinklers for the goats, since they are cold weathered animals and they have this sprinkler to keep them nice and cool. Alright, so I'm gonna go and ride the train now. Looks like the engine's starting. Looks like we're about to get going.
Alright, if everyone can hear me okay, can I get a thumbs up? Alright, perfect. Welcome to the Dakota Zoo and aboard the Herringer Family Express. For your safety, we ask that you please remain seated throughout the entire duration of our train ride, as well as keeping your arms and legs inside the train car at all times. I'll be checking my mirrors constantly, but if you see a safety concern, please just give me a shout.
There we go.
The mission here at the Dakota Zoo is to instill and inspire a better understanding and appreciation for our animals and nature. We hope to achieve this mission on our train ride today. The Dakota Zoo puts a high emphasis on our conservation efforts, and by visiting today, you are a part of those efforts. The Dakota Zoo donates to conservations locally, nationally, and internationally. To learn more about some of our conservation efforts, you can see our conservation kiosk located inside the Discovery Center. On our left, we have our prairie dog habitat, which has tunnels for you to get an up-close view of our prairie dog colony. The prairie dog is natural prey to our black-footed ferret, which is also located inside the Discovery Center. Next on our left, we have our red-tailed hawks as well as our bald eagles. These birds came to us through our raptor rehabilitation program. In this program, we're bringing injured raptors in the hopes of healing them and releasing them back into the wild. Those of them that have been too injured to be released back into the wild have a forever home here with us. We do this for about 60 birds each year. Next on our left, we have our snowy owl. The snowy owl is more commonly found farther up north, but when prey becomes scarce, they will dip down into the state of North Dakota. Also on our left, we have our great horned owl. The great horned owl is the most common owl found in the state of North Dakota and can be identified by the tufts of feathers just above its ears, making it look like it has horns.
There's the otters.
Also on our left, we have our North American river otter habitat, which has above and below water viewing of our two river otters, Gary and Sue Dolly. The North American river otter is highly endangered, though is making a remarkable comeback and has been seen more frequently in the wild these past couple of years. Next on our left, we have our Cooper's hawk. The Cooper's hawk is our smallest bird of prey here at the Dakota Zoo. Next on our left, we have our American badgers, Sulu and Beverly. The American badger is a prolific hunter, and once it finds the burrow of a ground squirrel or prairie dog, it can dig down quickly to capture its prey. On our right, across the big grassy area, we have our mouflon, oodad, and llama habitats. And while we can't get much closer to them on our train ride, I do recommend making the short walk back here, as they are amazing animals to see.
The porcupine
The habitats that are passing by on our left include our porcupine, swift fox, red fox, Arctic fox, as well as our raccoon. Due to their ability to carry rabies without showing any outward signs, the personal ownership of a raccoon or skunk is prohibited in the state of North Dakota. Our raccoon receives annual vet visits from our amazing vet staff, as well as receiving vaccinations against rabies and other diseases that it might be carrying. All of our animals are also attended to on the daily by our amazing zookeeper staff. Our zookeepers make sure to keep a close eye on all of our animals, making sure that if they notice anything strange or just a little off, that they let our veterinary staff know as soon as possible. In doing this, we make sure that all of our animals are as healthy and as happy as they can be. Next on our right, we have our coyote habitat. The coyote is part of nature's cleanup crew, where they hunt old, weak, or sick prey animals, as well as keeping some of our small mammal populations under control. On our left, we have our gray wolf habitat. The gray wolf is largely endangered, though is making a remarkable comeback in places where it's been allowed to return. The gray wolf is very high up on the food chain, so we have to be careful where we reintroduce them to, as reintroducing them into the wrong ecosystems could have a negative effect on our pre-existing ecosystems. The three gray wolves that we have here at the Dakota Zoo have been with us since they were just babies. Their names are Bang, Canyon, and Chinook. Chinook is our white gray wolf, and due to their color, they have a harder time camouflaging, making it harder for them to survive without our help. Due to the fact that our gray wolves were bottle fed and managed by us a lot, they will never return back into the wild, as they don't have the instincts that they would need to be taught from their mother to survive out there. Also on our left, we have our small cat habitat, which is home to our mountain lion, bobcat, and lynx. The mountain lion goes by many other names, such as cougar, panther, catamount, and many, many more. The bobcat and lynx prefer their more secretive lives and are oftentimes mistaken for another. Though the lynx does have tufts of fur at the edge of its ears, making it easier to tell them apart. On our right, we have our large cat complex, which is home to our snow leopard Grace, as well as our two Amur tigers, Nadia and Sputnik. Nadia, Sputnik, as well as Grace, are all on our species survival program. The Amur tiger is a solitary animal, so you will usually see Nadia or Sputnik in our habitat one at a time. They're usually not out together. On our left, we have our Mexican gray wolf. The Mexican gray wolf is largely endangered, with only around 200 left in the wild. Also on our left, we have our grizzly bear habitat, which is home to Ted and Callie just over this hill. A fun fact about Ted and Callie is that they came to us in 2011 after their mom was caught hunting domestic pigs. They came here with 2 other siblings, though as they grew older, the Dakota Zoo could no longer house all 4 of them, and the other 2 had to go to a different zoo. On our right, we have our servals. The serval can jump 9 feet in the air when hunting. Also on our right, we have our palace cats. The palace cats are part of our genetically pure program, and on our left, we have our fishers. The fisher is making a remarkable comeback in our state. Back on our right, we have our scarlet and our blue and yellow macaws. These large birds have very powerful beaks, and when trained correctly, can even talk. Back on our left, we have our coati. The coati is relative to the raccoon. And on our right, the Reeves muttonjack. This small deer is native to Southeast Asia. Back on our left, we have our pine marten. The pine marten is relative to the badger and otter. Coming up next on our right, we have our Tamar wallaby. The Tamar wallaby is cousin to the kangaroo, and females have a pouch on their front where their babies live for the first few months of their lives. A little past our wallabies, we have our emus, and then on our far right, up on the hill, we have our primate center. The primate center is home to 7 different endangered species of primates, such as our red-tailed lemurs, golden lion-headed tamarins, cotton lion-headed tamarins, as well as our siamangs. On our left, we have our bird aviary, which is home to 8 different species of pheasants and pheasant-like birds, such as our peacocks, golden pheasants, Reeves pheasants, Lady Amherst pheasants, Impian pheasants, as well as our blue-eared pheasants.
We're in the back.
Next on our right, we have our waterfowl ponds. The waterfowl ponds are home to a variety of different birds, many of which are wild. Some of them that stay with us year-round include our black swans, trumpeter swans, as well as our pelican carlisle. We also currently have baby ducks inside of our waterfowl pond. These baby ducks are wild and sometimes end up on the wrong side of our fence. If you see this happen, please just let them be. It's good for them to explore and get new experiences. Next on our right, we have our Discovery Center. The Discovery Center has hands-on activities for guests of all ages, as well as being home to many of our amphibians and reptiles. It is also home to our 2-toed sloth Flash, as well as our 3-banded armadillo Churro. Inside of our Discovery Center, you can also find our statue of Clyde the bear. A fun fact about this statue is that Clyde was an actual bear that we had here at the Dakota Zoo. He stood to be about 9 feet tall and was the largest bear of his time. If you're really into bees, we also have our bee apiary inside of our Discovery Center, where you can look for our queen bee, who is marked, so it makes it easier for her to find. Next on our right, we have our American alligators, Cookie and Goliath. The American alligator was once in major decline, but due to conservation efforts from zoos like ours, they have made a remarkable comeback and are no longer endangered, though they are more native in the more southern states such as Louisiana and Florida. Next on our right, we have our natural wetland area, and though this area doesn't look as pretty as the rest of the zoo, it is very important for some of our conservation efforts such as Frog Watch. Frog Watch is when we have our adult volunteers come in and listen to a variety of our different frog calls. We are now entering the Wilderness Trail. The Wilderness Trail is home to a variety of our different hoofstock animals, many of which currently have babies in their habitats, such as our mountain goats on your left. These sure-footed creatures were introduced into the Black Hills of South Dakota, though they are more native in the Cascade Mountains as well as the Rocky Mountains. We currently have 3 baby mountain goats inside of our habitat, so keep your eyes open and you just might see them. We did also add sprinklers to our mountain goat habitat to help keep them cool on our very warm days. The mountain goats are used to living in kind of a higher altitude, and since it's a higher altitude, they usually have cooler weather up there, so they have a thicker fur. They do shed some of their fur come summertime, but the sprinklers just help to make sure that they are as cool as they want to be. Next on our right, we have our African penguin habitat, which has indoor and outdoor viewing of our African penguins. Earlier this year, we did welcome our baby penguin Ruby into our Dakota Zoo family, and though she doesn't look much like a baby anymore, you can still tell the difference between her and the rest of our penguins. A fun fact about penguins is that they actually swallow their food whole instead of chewing it. On our left, we have our white-tailed deer habitat. The white-tailed deer prefer a more forested and grassland area to live in, as it gives them more places to hide from any of their predators. Next on our right, we have our Siberian musk deer. This deer was once hunted for its musk gland, and the Dakota Zoo is one of the few places in the world where it can still be found. If you were to name this animal off of its appearance alone, you may call it a vampire kangaroo deer due to its fangs. The kangaroo part would come from when you watch it run. It has a little hop that helps it get from place to place that much quicker. Next on our right, we have our Sichuan takin habitat, which is home to Gaston and Dillinger. The Sichuan takin may look familiar to you, and that's probably because the character Beast in the movie Beauty and the Beast was modeled in their likeness. The Sichuan takin is native to China, and despite their large size, they are actually very agile animals. The Sichuan takin also happens to be one of my favorites here at the Dakota Zoo. Next on our right, we have our Trans-Caspian Urial habitat. The Trans-Caspian Urial is a very rare member of the wild sheep family, and we currently have one baby inside of our habitat. On our left, we have our mule deer habitat. The mule deer is much like our white-tailed deer. The mule deer do prefer to live in more badland and mountainous areas, and we currently have 2 baby mule deer inside of our habitat. Next on our right, we have our bighorn sheep habitat. The bighorn sheep's horns can weigh up to about 30 pounds. Just imagine wearing that on your head all day, every day. We also currently have one baby inside of our habitat. He's kind of sitting next to our shelter on the outside. On our right, we have our Dall sheep habitat. The Dall sheep is very similar to the bighorn sheep, so much so that they are oftentimes mistaken for one another. So the Dall sheep does have smaller horns as well as thicker fur. Their thick fur helps to keep them warm in their native land of Alaska. On our left, we have our elk habitat. The elk habitat is our largest habitat here at the Dakota Zoo, spanning up to about 9 acres. The wilderness trail goes all the way around our elk habitat, giving you a good chance of spotting at least part of our elk herd. Our elk herd here at the Dakota Zoo is descendant from the elk herd out at the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in the Dakota Badlands. We currently have 5 baby elk inside of our habitat, so they're really good at hiding and oftentimes hard to spot, much unlike our male elk, Ernie, who's usually pretty easy to find with his large antlers. Though sometimes he does lay down in our taller grass, making it harder to see him, and you can kind of only see his antlers that stick out. Next on our right, we have our Bactrian camel habitat, which is home to Chewie, Padme, and their baby Anakin. They're all kind of sitting in that dirt spot over by their little hill. The Bactrian camel is native to Tibet and Mongolia, and their thick fur makes them well accustomed to our cold weather here at the Dakota Zoo, but by shedding that thick fur, they can also accommodate some of our warmer weather. A fun fact about the babies is that they are actually born gray, and the pigment to their fur doesn't come in until a couple of months later. Also on our right, we have our Przewalski horse habitat. The Przewalski horse is also sometimes referred to as the pea horse or the Mongolian wild horse. We currently have one baby in the second part of our habitat, and they are also on our species survival program. In this program, we help our animals to raise their babies in the hopes of keeping that animal's population numbers up to help them from becoming even more endangered.
That's a cute little baby.
The Przewalski horse's name is kind of spelled funny, so it is not phonetically spelled.
Pronghorn is standing up.
On our right, we have our pronghorn habitat. The pronghorn is one of North America's fastest land animals, clocking up to about 50 miles per hour in short durations. Their large eyes and excellent vision make them well suited for the grassy plains, as they can see danger from far away. Coming up next on our right, we have our American bison habitat. The American bison once numbered in the millions, so as settlers drew west, their numbers slowly dwindled as they were hunted for their hides, meats, and sometimes even just their tongues. The American bison is one of North America's largest land mammals, as our male, also known as the bull, who is this one coming up closest to our fence,
The two calves
can get up to be about 2,000 pounds, as well as being 6 feet tall from their hoof to their shoulder. The females, however, can only get to be about 1,000 pounds, as well as being 5 feet tall from their hoof to their shoulder. We also currently have 2 babies inside of our habitat. A fun fact about the babies is they were once called red puppies due to their color and playful nature. As our babies are a bit older, they have lost most of their red color and have turned more of that brown color that we see more in the adults. So they are still as graceful as ever. If you look on your left as we drive past our elk shelter, you should be able to see Ernie, or at least his antlers. He's kind of laying down, hiding in the tall grass. You can also see one of our females inside of that shelter.
There we go.
And we've got another female kind of hiding in our tall grass as we drive by. The Dakota Zoo has lots of fun activities planned for this summer, and we invite you to visit us often and partake in all of our fun activities. To learn more about any of our upcoming events, you can simply go to our website at dakotazoo.com. When you do visit us, we have our zookeepers that do talks on the daily, and we have a board out front, usually by our map, that tells you all about the talks that we'll be doing that day. Today we have at 2:30 an elk talk, as well as at 4:30 they're doing a penguin feeding. In these talks, our zookeepers talk about our animals, how we can help our animals from losing their habitat. At the end of our talks, our zookeepers usually have time for a couple of questions too, so you can ask them any questions that you might have about our animals, such as how old they are, what they eat, anything that you've really just been curious about.
Alligator. Looks like their water area is almost filled up. And That's the grandma and grandpa.
If you look on either side of our train, you can see some of our more domesticated animals, many of which are miniatures. We have chickens, giant continental rabbits, Sherwood and Belle, Highland cattle, Wellington and Fiona, miniature donkeys, Doug and Patty, miniature horses, Betty and Cotton, coon and cooney pigs, Izzy and Hugo, as well as our goats, Thelma, Louise, Dot, Happy, Sneezy, Bashful, Blossom, and Yoga. These are all representatives of common farm animals. Be sure to take the short walk through Grandpa and Grandma's barn, as you can see old photos of old farm life, as well as animals. We invite you to take advantage of our ice cream parlor as well as our concession stand. And don't forget to stop in at the Antler Trading Post for gift ideas for that hard to shop for person. As we're pulling back into our train station, I'll remind you once again to please remain seated until the train has come to a complete and total stop for your safety. Thank you for visiting the Dakota Zoo, and likewise thank you for riding the Herringer Family Express. We hope that you have enjoyed your train ride, and likewise we hope that you have a zoo-tastic rest of your day here at the Dakota Zoo.
It's a very fun ride. Alright, so I have completed my initial walkthrough around the entire Dakota Zoo in Bismarck, North Dakota. So now I'm going to try and do a rewalk and maybe see some of the animals that were not out the first time. Mainly it was the prairie dogs that weren't out. I believe there was also the swift fox, although I don't really remember if that was not out this morning. But I am going to do a rewalk to some of the animals in this section of the zoo. And even though I did get a good view of some of the animals in the other section of the zoo, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to do the rewalk real quick and we'll see what we'll see. Alright, I'm back at the prairie dog and I can see he is out. This was the main animal that was not out my first time through. And came back to see the otters one more time. Playing in the water. Oh, now they're getting out. And came back to the badger one more time. It was just in the little water dish there. Yeah, so both badgers are walking around now. There's also another animal that we saw from the train. And back at the porcupine. He's now up and moving around. Hi, porcupine. So another animal I missed this morning was the swift fox, and I came back hoping to see if he was out, but the swift fox is still inside at the moment, so I'm afraid the swift fox is a no-go for today. That is what the swift fox looks like. So I'm going to say it's a no-go for today because I just don't see him anywhere. Just from over here, I got a much better view of the Mexican gray wolf. It's actually another side view. He's standing up there. Yes, there's actually a second porcupine. Don't know if that's the same porcupine I saw from before, if it's a second one, but yeah, looks like that's a second one. Other one's up at the tree now. Yeah, so I'm back at the red fox, hoping to see if he was up and moving, but it looks like he's pretty much in the same spot he was in on my first time through. Yes, the raccoon's now up and moving. Hi, Mr. Raccoon, or Mrs. Don't know if it's a boy or girl. Hi, raccoon. It's a cute animal. And if you have any trash bins, I do recommend you lock your trash cans tight, because sometimes these guys will steal your trash. So be sure to lock your garbage cans nice and tight, because they will try and get it. So I'm back at the llamas, and there's a second one in here now. It's actually in the back walking around. And the other llama's now standing up here. It's a nice llama. He's turning around. Yeah, he came back to the bobcat and he's now out in the habitat. Looks like he's having a cat nap. Yeah, I came back to the puma. And he's in the little box now. You can see him. Alright, so I came back to the gray wolves, hoping to see if I could get another view of them, or at least a video of them walking around, but now I don't see them anymore. It's possible they are hiding somewhere. And I actually did mention on the train that the wolves here cannot survive out in the wild because they've had them here since they were pups. So unfortunately, the wolves are going to spend the rest of their lives here at the zoo. So I do not see the wolves anywhere. Possible they might be somewhere in the back, but luckily I did get to see them this morning on my first time through. And I came back to the Canada lynx and it looks like he's out. He's having a cat nap under there. Yeah, so another animal I didn't see the first time was the snow leopard. I did come back hoping to see if the snow leopard was out, but I still don't see him. So I'm probably gonna head into that little glass there. Hopefully I'll be able to see him. Yeah, this is another view of the snow leopard habitat, and unfortunately the snow leopard is still inside. It is a little hot out, but so luckily it is climate controlled inside, so unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to show it to you. So this is what they look like right here. So I'm gonna say it's a no-go for today because I just don't see the snow leopard anywhere. And I came back to the emerged tiger. Tiger's now laying down, looks like. I'm back at the Palace cat habitat. Looks like he's in his other habitat now. Yeah, before it was a little blurry, but now you can see the cat now. I'm back at the Reeves muntjac. See, one of them's up and moving up close here. He's actually just keep going potty, so I waited to film him after he was done so I wouldn't invade his privacy. The second one is pretty much in the same spot he was before. Still all the way in the back. I'm back at the primate center. You can see the white-fronted marmosets up close. Oh, here comes the second one. Two of them in this habitat. Hi, marmosets. Oh, these guys are super cute. I just noticed that one's tail is actually shorter than that one. It looks like that one there's missing some of its tail. How you doing, buddy? Super cute. That one just jumped on the ground. And I came back to the spider monkeys. See, he was going to be out up close, but it looks like he went inside. So the door is open, so it's the animal's choice if they want to be outside or inside. Looks like there were some of the red-ruffed lemurs just went inside now. Yeah, so it's completely up to the animals if they want to be outside or inside. Yeah, and there goes the train ride I was just on. Yeah, 'cause that's the red one, 'cause I was just on the red train. They do have two trains running, but I actually ended up riding on the red one and not the blue one. And I came back to the elk, or wapiti, and see the female elk is out and eating some hay. And the male elk is still inside the little barn there, but you can still kind of see his antlers. And the male elk is in there. I'm back at the bison again. Also got a really nice view of these guys from the train. Looks like that one's eating some hay. Looks like that bison's now walking around. Do love the bison. Just walking around. Looks like he's walking towards the other bison over here. And you can see the young bison just moved out of the way for the male. Oh, making way for him. Oh, the babies are super cute. Oh, he just ran. I got a much closer look at the pronghorn over here. I'm back at the back trained camel. Looks like this one was just about to come out. Hi, camel. Nice. And the one out there was just rolling in the dirt. Looks like he's laying back down again. I'm back at the white-tailed deer. You can see one of them in the little area here. Looks like he was just getting some hay. Hi, deer. He's just staring at me. He's like, what do you want? I was eating some hay. See, nice looking animal. Yeah, so I came back to see the Siberian musk deer one more time. Oh, I do see him. Looks like he's in the back now. Luckily I got a closer view of him from before, but looks like he's back there now. Yeah, so I came back to the African penguins, hoping to see if they were going to be outside, but looks like all the penguins are still inside today. Yeah, so all the penguins are still inside where it's cooler. We also got one up the glass there. I'm back at the American alligator, and the smaller one moved. And the larger alligator is pretty much in the exact same spot he was my first time through.
Okay.
Came back to the miniature donkey, and looks like they're up and moving. It's coming up close here. Hi, donkey. We just snorted. And the other one's still all the way in the back, but looks like he's moving. Or he's not really moving, he is standing up. Alright everybody, that is gonna do it for my visit to the Dakota Zoo. I hope you all enjoyed it. Really fantastic property. It was not a super huge zoo, but it was still very, very wonderful. I did miss a few animals on my first walkthrough, but luckily I went back and I got to see them again. Only animal I don't think I got to see, or the only few animals that were not out, was the snow leopard. There was also the swift fox, which was also a no-go, so I'm sorry about that. So I had a really great time at this zoo. I especially loved going on the train ride. That was really, really nice. I certainly loved this zoo a lot. It was very, very fantastic. Lots of walking. For a smaller footprint zoo, it's still very, very fantastic. Leave some comments down below of what was your favorite animal that I saw here today. And be sure to give my videos a good thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have not already subscribed to my channel. I go to zoos and aquariums all across the country. If this is the kind of stuff that you enjoy, then check out my channel. I am almost at 600 subscribers at the time of this recording. I upload new videos every Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I thank everybody for watching this video, and I will see you again next time. Bye!